What the fuck is up, everybody? It's your boy, Blake RT. We're here for the real matches. No one wants to see Moneyball versus Tsunami. Nobody wants to see Furia versus Otic. No one wants to see Nip versus who the fuck is Hotu. Like, we're here for the real shit, and that's locally hated versus Omen Esports. ESEA Advanced, Season 53. I believe this is round 10, round 11, round 9. Doesn't matter. It's all the same to locally hated. We're here to show up and kick ass. I think locally hated took the knife round. Actually, never mind. Probably not. If Omen took CT. Yeah, Omen won the knife round. Decided on CT. Let's gonna see what locally hated opens up with here. Early rain smoke. Jeza's on top of. Oh, actually, we have 3 members of locally hated on top of Marshmallow. Rain smoke kind of failed. Not kinda, did fail. Dinner's now chilling in mini. Gonna spot the first. Able to get one onto Ethex. Goes ahead and falls back. Knows that 2 players have dropped down. Jeza's gonna go ahead and shift walk up into heaven, but Lean is going to be ready for it, but oh my god, Fart has his back turned to heaven. Jezza takes out Fart, and now Dinner and Ween are kind of at a standstill here. Rue's not looking to make his way out. No, Ween able to get one. Jezza gets the trade. Dinner looking for the refrag, but Rue gets Saber. Alec picks up one backside, or Asian rather, onto Dinner, and now Rue and Bingus are in a 2v2 retake here. Alec's going to take this first jiggle, look for anything hut. Bingus is kind of tucking right now. Alec going for that jiggle, able to swing wide. Alec picks up the first on the Bingus, and Alec picks up the third of the round onto Rue, and locally hated. Pick up the pistol round. Gonna go ahead and damn, get AK full armor on Alec, AK full armor on Jezza. Yo, Kobe, 10-minute intro. Don't blame me. Blame pick and bans and the amount of time it takes to get into the server. Omen Esports going to go ahead and take a timeout. Identify what went wrong early in that pistol. Whether it was communication or, you know, lack of rotation or whatever did actually happen. Timeout is going to expire. We're going to see 157 on Bingus. Rifles all the way around for locally hated, except for on Ethex, who has that Mac 10 and opting for more utility. Looks like maybe an early outside push coming from Omen Esports. Flash comes over red. I believe the rain smoke is... Actually, that one did hit this time. Omen Esports are now 4-stacked on Unbreakable, with Dinner creeping up. Jezza's going to take the first contact. Goes down to Bingus. Picks up Fart. Ween picks up Effects. Zera gets one onto Ween. Saber gets one onto Bingus. And now this round is suddenly turned around. Alex in a 1v2. Who's kind of playing Unbreakable, waiting for the wide swing from Alec, but Alec knows there's one short, or one close rather. He's going to spot the shoulder of Alec, or of Rue. Rue's jiggling back and forth from Unbreakable, but they're both just going to kind of sit here and wait for Rue to take this first contact. Alec's now going to peek his head out, spot Rue, try to... Wow. What an eco round from Omen Esports, able to kind of isolate the fights, get early picks, and take 2 AKs into the next round. Very costly round for locally hated. But some of the crazier rounds we have seen from locally hated have come off of Tech 9s and the backs of upgraded pistols, so we'll see if they can pull it off here. Coblet and Kobe know when the game starts a little bit late. Dinner's now solo outside with this AK. Not too big of a complaint. does have the most OP rifle in the game. Bingus is about to get rushed out through ramp here. Alec is prepping these flashbangs. First one comes out. Doesn't blind the player behind big box. Bingus is able to get one. Saber gets the refrag. Ween looking for more, but able to get two. Ween now looking for third, but with an 8 in hand, Ween gets dinked down to 1 HP and gonna go ahead and fall back. Saber's getting the bomb down with the Tech 9 and armor. Efex now looking for anything. Gets one onto Ween. Bingus is 1 HP. Rue and... who is that? Or no, Dinner's 1 HP. Rue and Fart now taking this retake on. Efex a little bit late to ramp, but holding for Dinner because he wants that gun. He's going to let him have that defuse if he can. Dinner's not going to peek. Try to get out alive, and he's able to. Kind of a rough round coming out from Locally Hated. First flash going a little bit too deep, but honestly think that was the intention. Trying to flash any deep ramp players, but that ramp player actually catching him off guard by playing close behind the box. Dodges that first flash. Saber with the deagle, and Efex carrying over that Tech 9. Ween goes for an early pick ramp onto Saber. And now Alex looking to retake that control, but Ween takes the shot, unable to hit anything, drops the smoke, and gets a little bit defensive. Dinner picks one up onto Zera. Rue gets a good kill onto Jezza, and Efex is walking through the smoke. Picks up one. Here's the top hut player, rather. Alec now in a 1v4 against 2 AKs, an AWP, and an M4. He's about to walk into this AWP, but I think he might be aware that it is being held by that AWP. Let's see. Ready for the pre-fire angle, but AWP beats Deagle any day. And Ween picks up that last frag, giving Omen Esports 3.5. And finally, after that rough second round, Locally Hated will be able to buy back. Finally get some AK and util in their hands. But the economy of Omen Esports is already stockpiling. Two players of Omen dropping down backside A. Not electing to put anyone in heaven. It looks like Ween's going to go ahead and fall back up into that heaven spot. Red cross smokes come out, but nothing is going to come out of it, and Dinner might find that out early. Fart's just jiggling, waiting for this execute to come in. Molly gets dropped from Locally Hated, drops the Molly and the smoke. Rue spraying for his life in front of Hut, but doesn't find anything. Dinner finds one onto Jezza, Fart finds one onto Alec, and now Rue's just waiting for this Hut push that Locally Hated aren't actually going to go through with, and they can go ahead and reposition, get outdoor. Sarah able to pick up Fart. Sarah now going for the wide swing, spots one Mustang, but also spots one close Hut. Saber able to pick up Dinner. Efex picks up Ween, and now the Hunt is on for Rue. Rue's good for one, but dropped to 1 HP now. Efex runs into his own nade, brings out the Molly, and unfortunately cannot pick anything else up. Rue good for 3 in that round, and Omen Esports move on to 4. Looks like a set Tech 9 play coming out from Locally Hated. A little bit of friendly damage coming out onto Efex. That might be for being late. Don't quote me on that one. I don't know if he was late. Dinner is going to go ahead and break that smoke, but just misses all 5 players of Locally Hated crossing. They're able to get a second break on the smoke. Spot Alec crossing late, but the rest of Omen Esports are going to hear these players running down A or running down B. Saber and Jezza are going to go ahead, break the glass, go for the ramp peak, but not able to find anything out of it. Wow! Almost takes the timing and takes the head off of Saber there close, and now Three members of Omen Esports are looking to... Wow, Dinner gets one while blind, Dinner gets two. Ethex gets the trade, runs out of ammo, and gets stuck on the door trying to jump back in, and... Omen Esports pick up chaotic number 5. Very chaotic round for locally hated there, but able to get the bomb down and get some money back in their pockets, get a full buy going off the back of that. It's going to be a crucial round because if locally hated aren't able to pick up one here, Omen Esports might just run away with this half. Early aggression coming outside from Omen Esports. Bingus getting in Africa early, Dinner sitting kind of Tetris sort of area. I almost want to say that was a failed smoke outside. And now this inner hit might not seem as crazy to the Omen Esports players, but locally hated seem aware that there might be a late push coming in outside. Fart is now getting up close on this hut smoke. And it looks like he's going to go push through it, but elects not to. It's a very stalemate-ish kind of round. Locally hated looking to go into a late A, execute what it seems like. But Omen Esports are starting to read this. Utility coming out. Late door smoke. Sarah able to get the trade for Ethex. Dinner picks up one onto Jezza. And Bingus good for 2 through the smoke break. And Saber is now shut out of this round completely. In a 1v4, he's going to look to maybe get some 1v1s out, but might not find anything early. Not going to find anything at all. Ruse able to pick up one and close out round number 6. It's going to be a rough recovery for locally hated coming back from this. We'll see how they decide to go about it, whether they're going to kind of force back into it and run it down or try and play for those last few rounds. Timeout is going to expire. We're going to have somewhat of a full buy coming in from locally hated. More utility prioritized on Zera than anything here. Going for that Galil. Very dominant showing from Rue this game. 9-1. Looks like early outside smokes are going to come out for locally hated. They're not, or what's his name? Dinner is not going to be in position to block the smoke this time. And Zera and Saber are just going to kind of quietly take this space outside, cross behind these smokes. They haven't crossed behind them before except for on that eco round, so this might come as a surprise to Omen Esports. They have quietly made it down. Bingus is holding for this ramp push. Looks like a lurk smoke's going to come in. Dinner's getting close on this smoke, but can't make up his mind on what he wants to do here. Gonna go ahead and break that smoke. Not see anything. Break it again to see if anything comes after the second break, but locally hated are playing this very patiently. Dinner gonna take first contact down secret, drop a nade, come out of decon. Now these ramp players are going to take next contact. Ween dodges the flash, picks up the first onto Alec. What a shot. Gets the second onto Jezzo. What an even crazier shot. And now Saber picks up one onto Dinner. Exchange is going out on the B site now. Saber picks up one onto Bingus, and now Saber's in a 1v3. With all of Omen Esports surrounding him. Picks up one onto Rue. 50 HP, flashbang in hand. Saber's now advancing, trying to look for anything. Trying not to overextend. Ready for the op, but oh my god, drops him to half HP, and Ween takes him out and shuts down a scary, almost clutch from Saber. Now, locally hated are kind of in a position where they need to pull something out of the bag. See, kind of a mixed buy coming out, dropping everyone down to 16 to 2K. Except for on the side of Jezza, who's down to 850. Early nade break, or smoke break's going to come out. Dinner picks up one on Zera, but nade was a little too shallow, so they're not going to spawn anything. But they are going to go ahead and assume that B is where locally hated's going. Ethek's able to pick up 2 with the Tech 9. Bingus gets a trade, but Alec picks up one on a fart as well, and Bingus is looking for more, and he gets it onto Saber. Pulls out the USP, but can't find the kill onto Ethek's, and now Ween is in a 1v2. Making his way onto the B site. Kind of clearing it. Did he see the bomb? He didn't see the bomb down radio. So Ethex is going to grab this bomb. They're going to hear him going up the ladder and know that B side is free. Ween's now going to hear this. Ween's down ramp. Might be a lot faster than they expect. Flashbang comes in. Eats the nade. Big boom! Ween now taking in. Ethex picks up the frag, and locally hated pick up their second. What a round from Ethex. Able to pick up 4. Kind of open up all of Secret for locally hated and prevent any players from coming down vent. And it was kind of a crucial mistake from Ween accelerating up that ladder and making that sound cue, which literally told locally hated, hey, the site is open. Shout out Cobb, big booms sound a lot different on the AirPods. I can imagine they do. And we're back into it. Let's see if locally hated are able to carry this momentum for the rest of this half. 7-5 would be pretty good going into CT side. But Ween does have that op back in his hand. He has been a very powerful force. So has Brew. Sitting at 9-3 right now. And it's been almost a very battle of patience game. I feel like locally hated have found a lot of success when they've kind of been patient and just like this, how they're kind of not making any noise, being slow outside. They've gotten effects across. And now they're just kind of waiting for Omen to make any moves. Get overzealous. Which wouldn't be uncommon from Omen Esports, as, correct me if I'm wrong, this would be this is their first season in Advanced, so they do have a lot of proving to do. Blocker smoke gonna come out. Fart's gonna go ahead and rotate up heaven. Let's see if the players of locally hated will be ready for it. Doesn't opt to go for an immediate peek. Bingus is just kind of sitting J-Hall, expecting this this ramp push. 2 members of locally hated are going to go ahead and jump up onto scaffolding. But will Fart be ready for this? Fart is 100% ready for it. Jezza doesn't get the first. Zera able to get the good trade frag out. They see the bomb. Zera's going to drop a molly down hell. Ethex picks up one on top hut. Picks up his second into the round. Zera picks up one onto Bingus, and now Ween is back in the situation he was last round in a 1v4? And he's just going to try and save this op. He's completely shut out of the round. What a trade frag from Zera, and what, like, openings coming in from Ethex through Mini. We can't lose to fart. Twitch censors fart. That's insane. Apparently Twitch censors fart on mobile. Because I assume that's how Cobb is watching. But yes, you are right. We cannot lose to fart.
Terrorists win.
We can't lose to Omen Esports, man. It's fart ween bingus. On the real though, shout out Omen Esports. They're cool guys. Except for when we're playing them in the server. Hopefully hit in a very crucial round here. If they can win this round, Omen Esports will be on a pretty rough bye for that last round. Ween's going for a very aggressive peek into Africa behind this glaive smoke, but... Wow, Peek picks up one onto Efex, almost jumps over the smoke. Saber gets the trade onto Dinner, and... Now we're kind of back into an even state, or even game state. 4v4 is going to favor the T side. And locally hated are opting to move back towards that ramp position. Bingus has sat on top of the railing behind the boxes all game. So let's see if they'll be able to do anything. Alex waiting for this lurch out for Bingus. Jezik gets the pre-aim, but Bingus is down low this time. He able to get the frag. Fart's going to go ahead and walk into hut, take this hut control. Off of losing lobby, or off of losing the ramp player. Rue's going to double up with them, and they're going to go ahead and try and push into lobby, but Fart picks up one onto Jezza. They're not going to overextend. Fart is taking his time, knows what he has, not going to over-aggress. Saber now waiting for this push. And local hitter going to execute through Squeaky Door. Fart's on this fast flank. Saber Knight might not hear it. He is going to hear it. Saber goes down to Fart. Alec gets the trade on the Fart. Rue gets one onto Zera. Alec now in a 1v1 versus Ween. Can we get an LMS count on Ween? And he finally pulls it off. Picks up the last frag onto Alec, and nice view model bug we got going here with the Shadow Daggers. Still not too bad for the side of locally hated, though. Still have money to buy into this last round. It's just a matter of, can they actually pull it off? Inside smoke's coming in. Boom! Big boom onto Saber and Zera. Ethex is going to go ahead and take this spice outside, though. Not quite crossing secret yet. Going to get spotted out by Dinner. He's going to go ahead and drop that preemptive molly. But now, 3 members of Omen Esports are scared of this outside play. Ween's going to go ahead and drop down to ramp, be able to drop the smoke, but Dinner's going to get his shoulder spotted out. Oakley Hater are kind of waiting for this outside fight. Omen Esports have been pretty aggressive towards outside, but Ween just off the timing! Spots Ethex, misses his shot. Dinner has fallen all the way back to the forklift. And they are aware of it. They're going to crouch under the half wall. And, wow! Jezza takes off the head of Dinner! Ween's now aware that there's at least 2 under him. Molly's going to come in top heaven. Force Ween to drop onto Marshmallow down into A site. Now, locally hated know that Omen Esports have no control over heaven, but Bingus goes huge for 3! And Alec goes down to Fart, and Saber is now in a 1v4. Saber's going to go ahead and make his noise, make himself known, but Fart's on the close left corner, picks up the last kill onto Saber, and Omen Esports have 9 rounds in this game so far. This should be a relatively easy one to close out, but locally hated are known to put up a fight and not go down without one. Got a tech pause coming in. Not sure who it's on the side of, but this is a good time to check those stats. Dinner has ceased to exist in the server. Yeah, and so that first half, Omen and Esports had a very dominant showing, but I feel like that is kind of expected on a CT-sided map. Or at least I feel that Nuke is CT-sided. So putting up 5 is optimal. I think 3 is, you know, the minimum you want going into CT side. But I guess it's all about how crucial that first pistol round is. And now after they lose this pistol, if they lose, not after they lose this pistol, what the hell is wrong with me? If locally hated were to lose this pistol, it would put them in a tight, like, not round deficit, but they'd only have one more chance to come back into the game. But on the contrary, when Omen Esports lose this pistol, locally hated will have the momentum, have that first, and presumably that second. And locally hated will have solid economy early on the CT side, which is just what you need to succeed early on CT side of Nuke. Tech pause has concluded. Dinner is back in the server. We have been giving the live. Alive! Sorry, I had to give my Swamp Izzo impression. Very outside heavy pistol round coming out from Omen Esports. Looks like mini smoke coming in, which is very interesting as that did come from T-Roof. Squeaky door's gonna get blown. Fart's gonna just bait this A hit. While all of Omen Esports are going down B. And after Fart goes down, locally hit are gonna be aware of it. Alec has already rotated down, is gonna take first contact into radio. Actually just misses it, picks up one onto Rue. Looking for a second, able to find a second onto Bingus, but it's just in time for the cavalry to arrive. Ethex picks up one onto Ian, and Zera picks up the final one onto Dinner. And now locally hated all of a sudden are looking like they're back into it, but we need to see how this second round goes. There's a huge pistol coming out from locally aided. Attack pause coming in from the LH side. Gonna go ahead and talk things over to try to avoid the mistakes that did lead to their downfall in that first half of the game. And Omen Esports are now on a full pistol buy with one upgraded, or a full pistol save rather, with one upgraded pistol on Fart, a smoke in hand. Man 327 can confirm Tyler is Jezza. Looks like we have a straight ramp pop coming out from Omen Esports. Alex is jiggling this with the smoke in hand. But I wonder if they're just going to send Fart to try and sell this fake outside. Would it be very interesting if locally hated were to activate early? Fart has made it into the mini smoke. And is going to catch one onto Jezza. Holy, what a shot, but the second player is able to boost up on top of Heaven already, and now Omen Esports are charging Saber down hell. He's unable to find anything. Rue picks up the kill onto Saber, and now Omen Esports are at a pause. Trying to get their wits about them, decide what to do. Alex gonna spot one, takes down the M4 on Ween. Gonna go ahead and give the space ramp. The man advantage has been cut down a little bit. Locally Hated are now kind of taking shelter in lobby with Alec just holding that B site. I think it's going to get drop bomb, and it looks like Omen Esports are going to go for an A walkout here. Dinner's going to take this first contact. Bingus is going to be up Heaven, watching for him. They're going to elect to give the Heaven control away, which is actually pretty interesting. Rue is sitting in mini. See if he'll be able to activate. But it looks like Locally Hated are just kind of stalling for Alec to come back up secret, and Rue's getting a little antsy, looking for something, but knows Alec is on the flank, gonna start hearing him. Not show himself, but Alec spots him. Rue picks up the first with the deagle, looking for more, goes for the fight, and Efex picks up one, Efex picks up two. Bingus now in a 1v1, and goes down to Zera. But Zera has the kit. Yeah, he has the kit. Kit in plenty of time. Locally Hated pick up the fifth, able to convert the save round, or the, never mind, what the hell am I talking about? The second round force, and Locally Hated, just like we talked about before the pistol round and that tech pause, are looking like they're coming back into this game. Good kill from Rue onto Alec and from Mini, but even better wide swing from Efex, just with the MP9 spraying and praying, as they used to call it in my day. Fast outside utility coming in from Omen Esports, but they're not electing to do anything with it early. They kind of take their time outside. Bingus is now looking to take this space, but might get spotted by Saber. Doesn't look like it. Bingus is going to be able to cross to top secret, but not go down. Just going to kind of hold that space. Now Efex is going for this jump spot. I like this jump spot. I use this in my Face It Pugs and Premier games. This is a really good angle from Saber. Playing Zaiwu on the left side of that cube. Saber looks like he's going to take first contact onto Dinner. Able to get the first onto Dinner. I think his mouse jumped. Looks for the second. Able to get the second on a Fart. Saber's looking really good right now. He's looking for more, but going to go ahead and back up. Give that space away. Knows that there's more behind that, but Omen Esports deciding to take their time and kind of slow this round down. Make Locally Hated try to make Locally Hated play their game rather than vice versa. Door Lurk Smoke comes in. Ween picks up one onto Saber, but gonna go ahead and back up. Flash Bingus into Hut, or into Mini. Flash is a little bit short, but Bingus is able to pick up one up onto Zera. Jezza gets one onto Rue, but Bingus gets the instant trade, and now Alec and Efex are in a 2v2. Ween is 1 HP. They're gonna go ahead and plant close Hut. Efex is up the vent. They're scared of a Heaven player, but there isn't gonna be one at all. They're gonna go ahead and double up Squeak Door. Ween's gonna find the first pick. Efex is now scared of a Heaven player that's never going to come in. Bingus has sat in Hut, but Bingus is going to just completely backstab Efex and pick up round number 10 for Omen Esports, rather. Yeah, and once Omen Esports were able to slow down a little bit, they were able to... That's crazy. Once Omen Esports were able to slow it down outside, it seemed like Locally Hated got a or didn't have enough information, which I think is why Ethex was concerned about that Heaven player, but they will be for sure be going over that one after the match. Timeout is going to clear up. Looks like we have very mixed buy coming out from Locally Hated, not wanting to let Omen Esports get on that 11th round. M4 armor on Zero, 5-7 with some utility on Ethex, and MP9 smoking armor on Jezza. Saber able to pick up a nice headshot onto Fart through the smoke. Gonna know that more players are crossing, looking for more through the smoke, but can't find anything else. Bingus is leading this charge now. Secret gonna run into Zera first with the M4, but gets traded out by Ween. Now Ween is looking for something, but Jezza picks up one, goes down to Rue, and now Dinner gets... Or wait, no, Rue picks up the kill onto Ethex, and Dinner picks up the kill onto Jezza. Rue's now made his way down the vent, reunited with Dinner. Gonna get spotted, but Saber picks up a second, all with the Deagle onto Dinner, but Rue has made it past Secret. I think he might have thinks it was the dead body. Rue's gonna come up Secret, and Alec is gonna pick up the last frag onto Rue. Locally Hated do not allow Omen Esports to pick up round 11, and the comeback continues. Great frags from Saber on the Deagle. Picks up one early outside with the smoke blooming. Picks up a second onto, I think that was Ween or Bingus. I'm not sure. Looks like Rain Smoke's gonna come in early for Omen Esports, and they're just gonna go right into an 8-hit. Flashes have come in. Ethex picks up one with the MP9, but gets traded by Rue, and now Bingus and one other player of Omen Esports have made it down. Vent, Alec picks up one. Gonna hear the second player radio, or maybe not. Fart has decided to start walking a little bit early. But Dinner has gone unchecked on the A site, I think. No. Fart picks up one on Alec with the Glock. Dinner is now still making his way into Mini. Dinner has to be getting heard, but Fart's gonna jump through this radio smoke, come out the right side, get taken out by Saber. And now all of Locally Hated are in Secret, where Dinner is about to pop out and get eliminated. Locally Hated pick up their 7th in the game. We're starting to see somewhat of a comeback, and now have a tech pause coming in. Unsure of who it's for. This is your reminder to everyone to hydrate. Go ahead and get your water in while the tech pause is going down so you don't miss any of the action. I'm going to assume that the tech pause is either on the side of Ethex or Fart. Ethex has gone ahead and bought up, so I'm going to assume that Fart is the suspect when it comes to tech issues here. This is a very important round for Omen Esports. If they do lose this round, they will be pretty much broke. They need to at least try and get this bomb down, but Locally Hated have a very strong buy across the board. But this also is a make or break round for Locally Hated. If they lose this round, their economy is going to be very spread, to say the least. Tech pause is over. We're getting back into the game. Fart gonna go ahead and throw those red cross smokes as well as a top mini smoke coming in. No, that wasn't a top mini smoke. That was a cross smoke. Zera's gonna be in front of the glaive smoke. Not gonna spot anyone in Africa. Ethex picks up one through the squeaky door, through the smoke. But Omen Esports are starting to read this opening that Locally Hated have left. Locally Hated are starting to get aggressive outside. Gonna know that no one's outside, but they 100% have to be aware that ramp is where all of Omen Esports are. Zera has made his way all the way through yard. Gonna go ahead and start this ramp flank, but Dinner seems to be somewhat aware of it, but he only has a Glock to deal with it. Dinner's gonna get spotted, get dropped to 19 HP, and it's a very risky situation for Omen Esports now as they are getting pinched. Not necessarily getting pinched, but they're starting to feel the pressure. You can see Bingus is starting to back up towards his team. Looks like they're going to gear up and try to fight these lobby players, but Zera and Ethex have already backed out into a big crossfire. Zera's going to pick up the first. Bingus picks up a kill on the Ethex. Zera hits one on the Fart, and Bingus gets one on the Zera. Omen Esports have decided to go ahead and take this A site with 2 players of Locally Hated on the B site. Now going up the vent. Alec gets out. Alec's kind of holding for Saber to get out. Alec picks up a nice frag on the Bingus, and full blind, Ween is spraying for his life, unable to get anything. Jezza picks up the kill, and Locally Hated pick up round number 8. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an op coming out of Saber here. But it does also... Yep, there it comes out. Yep, there it is. Op in the hands of Saber, finally. This is what we wanted. Wanted to see, at least. Strong buy coming out. Let's see what Saber's going to elect to do with this op. Wait for the second player. Might have missed the timing a little bit, but outside smokes come in. Saber's behind red now with that op. Looking for something. Fart gets dropped to half HP. Zera takes a little bit of tag damage, but no kills come out of that. Fart is deciding to completely Stewie 2K his way into Africa, just blindly walking through the smoke. Smokes are starting to dissipate. Fart has pushed up Africa, but let's see if he will go checked. Not sure. Boom! Big nade onto Fart, but Saber unable to capitalize on it, and Alec is now on top of Big Garage, falling back, picks up Fart. Ethex picks up one on the Rue, and now Jezza picks up one on the Bingus through the smoke, and Dinner and Ween are now in a 2v4. See how they decide to go about this. Deciding to just kind of stay in place right now. I'm not sure if we will even see them go for this, or this will be a jam round. Small boom. 4 Locally Hated. Ween looking like he wants to go towards ramp, but call is going to be made to go out squeaky. Looks like Ween is going to take this first contact. Ethex spots him, but unable to get a kill. Gets some damage onto Ween. Smoke comes out mini, but Zera picks up Dinner while he's jumping, and Ween has a nade in his hand. Call it round number 9 for Locally Hated. The comeback is happening. I am dying. I'm dying. Help me. Upgraded pistol round for Omen Esports here. P250, Tech 9s, and actually a Glock on Ween, but deciding to try and utilize their util in order to get them into this round. No pun intended. Saber's going to go ahead and post up ramp with this op. Look for a ramp pop, which might be expected from Omen Esports, but Locally Hated might also not know that they have a metric shit ton of util. It's going to start coming in. Fart's taking this first contact, but Ethex is full blind. Jezza picks up one wall blind, second through the smoke. Alec picks up one on a Fart, and Locally Hated have completely shut down the push of Omen Esports. Zera picks up one on the ladder, just misses Dinner crossing left, but now Dinner's going to sit inside of Squeaky and hope for anything. Zera walks in, but should get instantly traded out, but Dinner's good for 2. Holy shit. Dinner's good for 2, looking for more. Gets stuck in the molly, and Saber picks up the last kill. 10 all, folks. It's happening. Yo, all I'm saying, this is a message for the truck. Hold on. I'll message the truck real quick. I'm just not gonna say anything then. Fast outside play coming out from Omen Esports. Not necessarily fast outside play, but fast utility. Bingus can go ahead and cross early outside. Efex picks up a nice kill onto Rue. But Bingus is back in that top secret position, looking for any aggression coming out from locally hated through secret, but doesn't look like it is going to actually come through, as the ramp player is Saber with that op. But 3 players of Omen Esports have made it down secret. They're going to leave a 4th. That is going to be Dinner in Africa, waiting for a push on the outside. But locally hated have now taken a very passive approach to this round now that they have this man advantage. Fart and Bingus are going to make the steps that indicate that it is a B play, but Ween does have the option to go up the vent. Dinner's going to hit this late activation through Mini. Wow, picks up a nice kill onto Saber. What an angle from Ween. And now Omen Esports are going to go ahead and take this site, but really being a little bit passive. Dinner finally activated outside, picking up a kill on the Efex, and now Ween is going back into the vents, going upstairs, but Alec is about to catch one onto Fart, and he does, but Bingus goes up the vent, and now Zera is on the close flank. I'm not sure if he actually heard them. Just is looking for anything, any early over-aggression from Omen Esports, but they are not giving it to him. Dinner sitting backside, 1 HP, and this is just kind of waiting for his team to get in, but Zera doesn't check deep garage or deep mini, and goes down to Bingus. Alec picks up one on Bingus, and now 2v2 situation. Alec knows where Ween is with the off. Now looking for the backside player, picks up one on the Dinner. Smoke's gonna come out. Will he get on the bomb? He's gonna get on the bomb. No way. Alec picks up this ninja defuse. Ween's with the AK, but he's spraying too far wide, and Alec picks up the defuse. Looking for the kill after, but can't get it. Locally hated pick up 11. I want everyone to know I just spit all over my monitor. Holy shit. Tech pause coming out from Omen Esports. Hopefully not too big of an issue, but holy. You know that phrase, pros don't fake? I think they made that phrase because of Alec. It was the second time we have seen him just completely stick a defuse on Nuke. Looks like Rue's issues are over. Gonna go ahead and buy up. Tech pause should be coming to an end soon. Very strong stats coming out from Efex this game. 20 and 16, 2100 damage. Alec, 17 kills. A lot of utility damage on Efex as well. 100 ADR across 21 rounds so far. That's pretty impressive. On the side of Omen Esports, Ween's been a pretty big factor with that op, but so is Bingus. Very effective rifler all throughout this map. And not much else to say. Like we said, that pistol round does tend to lead the momentum of the half. So tech pause is going to be over with. And we are back underway. Locally hated versus Omen Esports. Let's see. Nothing Omen Esports have been doing on the T side has been working out so far. or has locally hated just been countering everything they're doing? Efex on top of Silo gets one early kill onto Bingus, and now we should see locally hated fall into a very passive and defensive setup, as they do have this man advantage. You can already see Zera playing back garage, looking for that mini walkthrough. Efex is going to go ahead and jump up on hut. Alec is just spotting ramp. Jezza playing very passive back sight, and Door Lurk Smoke's going to come out from Omen Esports. Efex is going to try and make his way into it. Top hut Molly's going to come in, but Efex isn't going to see anything. Outside smokes do come in as well. We have 2 more smokes on the side of Omen Esports. 1 more smoke now. It looks like we're going to see a full A execute. Fart's going to be throwing this backside Molly. Efex knows that there's nothing in mini. They haven't heard anything else around the map. Squeaky Smoke should be fading relatively soon. Omen Esports are going to get Rue into hut to start taking this contact, make this pressure known. Efex is going to see this mini smoke come in, sees the flash, going to call the execute coming in. Efex good for 1, looking for more, onto Ween, who is the bomb carrier. Not able to pick up the second, but gets good damage. Jezza picks up 1, Fart picks up his, dropping down. Fart can't find him, Alec picks up Fart, and now Alec picks up his second. Closing out round number 22 for Locally Hated. Locally Hated are now on match point. From being down 9-3, Locally Hated have scraped and crawled their ways out of the depths of this game. Late gun swap coming out on the side of Locally Hated. Looks like they're trying to get that op into Saber's hands, an AK into Zera and Jez's hands. Saber's going to go ahead and hold that ramp push out, or that, not that ramp push outside, but just the ramp push. Zera's going to drop into secret early. Omen Esports have decided to send 4 players outside. Bingus is going to go ahead and get into his signature position. But it looks like Omen Esports might try to crunch through mini here. No, smoke comes in mini. Flash outside. Alex gonna hear these flashes. Turn his head for a split second, but not see anything. Efex is backing out of this mini smoke. Gonna go back Asian. Rue's gonna start throwing his util. Try to just disrupt Locally Hated mid-rotation. Rue drops the lurk smoke plus the mini molly, but doesn't seem to affect Locally Hated's rotation too much. Zera has posted up back clock looking for this radio room contact. Zera's gonna call 2. Now 3, now 4 are on the B site. Zera's good for 1, looking for more, gets taken out by Dinner. Omen Esports now have control of the site. Rue's looking for a late activation, but Efex is so aware of it! Efex is so aware of that late lurk, able to pick up one onto Rue, but Dinner and Fart are able to trade out effectively, and Ween gets 1. Efex now in a 1v2, but can't find it, and now Omen Esports pick up 11 and are on the verge of taking this to OT. Very shaky buy on the side of Locally Hated. Opting to go for guns over utility here. 2 smokes, 2 flashes across the board. Omen Esports do have quite a bit of utility, but Alec is taking an aggressive position on ramp that he hasn't taken before. Saber's holding this corner. Alec is playing close for the trade. But will they expect it is the question. Efex is going to hear the jumping around. Flash comes in, deep ramp. Saber and Alec have backed up out of that ramp setup. Looks like outside smoke's coming in early, or really late, actually, now that I'm looking at the time for Omen Esports. Zera's gonna peep his head over, not see anything top Marshmallow, gonna hear a flash come out, but Omen Esports are looking at it and just spots Bingus and able to pick up Bingus and now gonna drop back. This is what they've done all game. Gotten one pick and set up into a defensive, like, default. Saber's looking for something, knows the resmoke's going soon, but Saber picks up one on Rue, who has the bomb, and now the bomb's just open in the middle of outside, and Saber knows there's another outside. Ween picks up the trade, and now Fart, Ween, and Dinner in a 3v4 to keep Omen Esports in the game. Let's see if they're able to do anything. They're going to go ahead and group up and take that bomb B. A players of Locally Hated should hear this push coming in. They're going to know that that vent is mollied. Zera's opting to play emo here. I like this play. Ween's crossing wide. Going to go ahead and plant back silo. Single door gets closed, reopened. Zera good for one. Or no, Alex good for one. Zera's good for one, but Fart turns around and can't find the kill. And Locally Hated bring it all the way back from 9-3 to close out the game 13-11. G motherfucking G.